Leboldus is up. Oh, they're down 1-2 against St. Gerard. There we go. St. George's, oh yeah. All right, now we're ready to go here. So St. George's inbounds the ball, leading 2-1, 6:12 to go. He's throw it out of bounds on the baseline there. Number 13 turning it over. James Pitbaldo. The Bulls having a little problems inbounding, but getting it in nonetheless. Comes number 6 of the Suns, Emmanuel Jones, grade 12 point guard. Two teams do look very evenly matched. Howard Polk turning the ball over. Offensive foul charges of Vince Ledoux. And here we go with Stefano Brocktree passing the ball in. Anthony Israel nailing the deep jump shot. He's a good player. Tyler Folk running over a member of St. George's. Turned over by the Saints. No. Alright, here we go. The Suns with the ball. Israel looking to get it inside over at number 12. Tyler Frank. Marcus Ward, sorry. Down low. Brocktree missing the easy one. Here comes Vancouver. St. George's with the ball. For 3. Misses on. Almost rebounded by Adam Hildebrand. Israel for 3. Nailing it. Nice shot to go up 6-2. Ooh, and Adam Hildebrand with the putback, getting it done. Skipped over. Ooh, Emmanuel Jones missing it. All right, so Declan Chung bring the ball up here. See if we can get something going for the Saints. Lucas McFadden over number 5. Braden Smith knocking it down. Pretty impressive player. Oh boy. Emmanuel Jones, he's quick. A little too quick. Not having much success with the fast break. Here comes Chung. Oh, and nice take by Chung. He looks pretty good. Israel for 3 again. Ooh. Israel turning the ball over. So we're all tied up, 3:15 to go in the first quarter at 9s. Looking to be a pretty competitive game. Both teams are very evenly matched. Deep benches and pretty intense coaches. And here comes Chung with the ball. Swinging it over is Lada. 15. Mitrovic missing the shot. Here comes Emmanuel Jones. Over Marcus Ward. Back into Tyler Folk. Oh, back to E-Man again. Puts it up. Nice shot. Emmanuel Jones. Good job. Here comes Chung again. He looks to push the ball pretty hard. Chung can't get the layup to go. Rebound to Brotry. Jones with the handle. Brotry setting up a pick. Down into Israel. Oh, and here comes my boy Shu. Having a slice of pie. Marcus Ward nailing the shot, getting it done. He's a good player. Oh, strong take by 15. Milan Mitrovic. Jones, E-Man, taking the shot. That was a computer dying. Oh, that's a little camera. Ooh, McFadden with the turnover. Here comes Israel. Already hit 2 threes. He's got good handles too. Back into Ward. Skipped over to Jones. Back into Brotry. Brotry for the shot blocked. Tip off. St. George Saints will keep it. Now, St. George's Saints, we believe, have a strength and conditioning coach that they brought with them. This must be a serious program they got going on here. Bringing their strength and conditioning coach, eh? That's crazy. When I went to Bedford Road, we'd be lucky to even have somebody who knew anything about strength and conditioning. Oh, here's Chung, good handles. Skipped it into the corner, turned over, stolen back. Chad Payne, what a sweet name. Chipped out of bounds by Lada. Chad Payne, that's a super cool name. Okay, Chad Payne, sweet name. Yeah. Oh, here comes 12, bringing it in. Marcus Ward, turning it over to 15. Adele, getting it done. You want in on this or what?
Who wants to go?
Giver.
Giver, have you been calling?
Yeah. This Israel got nails to
Nails to you know what they're actually doing? Who's after this one? They haven't played hard.
Oh, yeah.
See our names.
All right, a little bit of a change up. This is Devin Haru alongside Craig Schumacher at Bedford Road Collegiate. Of course, you're watching BRIT basketball. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are. I know a lot of people out in Vancouver interested in what their St. George's Saints are doing this evening in Saskatoon. Well, right now, after the first quarter of basketball, it's the Leboldus Suns out of Regina 15, St. George's 9. A lot of great BRIT basketball going on up until this point, and it's only building as we play quarterfinal games here on Friday at the Classic. Semifinals tomorrow afternoon, semifinals Saturday, and then tomorrow night, 6 o'clock local time, will be the championship. Again, like I said, Devin Haru alongside Craig Schumacher. We're in the booth, and we're loving it. How you doing today, Schumacher?
Loving it, especially after that game. Did you catch the tail end of that one, Dev?
You know, I didn't get it, but I hear it was one of those things we'll be talking about for years. Buzzer beater.
Awesome. Great game. Balfour trailed the entire game. Hit a last-second buzzer beater, 3 to tie it up, send it overtime, and then pull off the win in the end.
That's what it's all about, man. We talked about that at the breakfast this morning. You have the ability to capture the heart and mind of everybody in Saskatoon when you make shots like that, and wow, they continue to add to the memories here at the Classic. Yeah. Back to the action. Vancouver, I'll tell you what, this number 11, Sajen Gill, is a smooth-looking shooter. 5-second violation, too, and now after a timeout, they seem to crank things up.
Good pressure.
Relock and reload. I know we talked about it, and you hate to belabor the points, but the reality of it is that these quick quarters and the immensity and pressure of BRIT can get to these guys in a hurry. So we'll see if the Saints out of Vancouver can settle down now. Gill under the basket, fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And this Vancouver team got in Wednesday night, so they've been feverishly waiting for 48 hours to dig their heels in and get to playing some basketball.
On the line, Gill is 1 for 1 from the charity stripe so far. Send us an email at britbasketball@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of everything going on at BRIT. We'd love to hear from you. All right, the Suns are going to run their offense now, of course. The winner of this one goes straight to tomorrow afternoon and semifinals Saturday. A lot of basketball. That has to happen before then. The Suns working it around the perimeter. This is Israel getting it over to Emmanuel Jones. Down low now for the big man, Marcus Ward. Can't get that to go, and rebounded and brought up court by the Saints. This is Payne, Chad Payne throwing up a shot. Can't get it to go. There's a foul under the basket. These 2 players were locked up. What do we have, Craig?
It looks like number 9 for the Suns. Tyler Fulkin called on the foul. He doesn't like it. The ref doesn't care.
They never do they? All right, the Saints back to work, down 2. Here's a 3 ball for the lead. Book it. It's good. I didn't get a number over there. It's hard to see those numbers. Oh, nice number 10 to Kwan Ching. All right, now with a 1-point lead, the Saints are looking smooth and in control. Here's a shot, 3 ball, Sajen Gill. I told you a second ago, this guy looks good from long distance, and he's dialed in right now, 19 to 15, approaching the 2-minute mark here in the second quarter. Under the basket, the Suns a little rattled right now. They had a comfortable lead, and now, well, they're down by 4. Spin, drive and dish, can't get it to go. Everybody's hitting the deck. Who wants it? And the Suns got it. Some big games tonight, eh?
Huge games. I'll tell you the one I'm looking forward to. Centennial Chargers versus the Holy Cross Crusaders at 8. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's a dream matchup. This place is going to be electric. You better believe it. The Saints can't get that to go under the basket. Rebounded by the Suns. You know, this Leboldus Suns team is known for speed right now. They haven't been able to dial in. Israel for three. That one bounces over the backboard. And that'll, of course, be a turnover. And so the Saints will make some changes and go back on offense. You better believe it, like you said, Craig. These guys got in on Wednesday. They've got 4 coaching staff here. That's the most I think I've ever seen, really. These guys mean business.
Yeah, you know what? Talking to the tournament organizer and co-chair Brad Clausen, he said these guys came off the plane wearing matching suits. They brought an athletic therapist with them who brought his own massage bed. You think these guys are taking this seriously?
Well, I'm sure they've heard from teams like Vancouver College and Handsworth out of British Columbia just what this tournament is all about. And if you want to be a champ, you've got to look like it, you've got to act like it. And, well, they seem to have that part down at least.
And you know what? I don't know. Is this? Maybe you would know. Is this another school like the Fighting Irish, who's here the last couple of years? Are they a private all-boys school, or do you not know?
That's a good question. Maybe some of our listeners could email us and let us know out there in Lotus Land.
We would love to know the answer. Are the St. George Saints, is that a private school? Is it an all-boys school? I know we have had many Vancouver teams come in, and that has been the trend in the last few years.
Well, look, they've got some heavy pressure on their shoulders because they're trying to keep the streak of 6 consecutive BRIT championships for BC teams alive.
Oh.
So talk about the weight of the world out on the West Coast being on your shoulders. They're up 21-15 right now. BC has absolutely controlled this. Basket and the foul. Over there for the Leboldus son, number 12, Marcus Ward. And he'll go to the line to look for the 3-point play.
I'll tell you what, when I put on my headset here, Devin, Leboldus was up 15-11, so St. George has went on a run since I put it on.
Yeah, you're good luck.
For St. George, I guess.
Yeah, well, exactly. So anybody listening in BC, they want you calling the games from here on out. If only it were that easy. All right, Saints back on offense, working it around the perimeter inside. This is Gill. He took it to the hoop, all 6'4" of him. He's only in grade 11, so you know he's going to gain a lot of valuable experience. Hold on, what's the call? Travel? Oh, look out. Where's the defense? No defense. The Suns.
Bit of a Labrati. Good heads-up play on the inbound by Alexiou.
Or down here.
Pardon me. By Marcus Ward.
There you go.
I'm looking at the wrong page.
That's all right. Now we're on the same page. Here come the Suns. They're down by a point. Back and forth they go. A battle of the Titans here at the BRIT Classic. Get the roll. Marcus Ward, he's taking this game into his own hands right now. He's big, a daunting character out there. Hold on. The ball is bouncing around, rebounded, and put back. Can't get it to go. And finally a foul is called. Who's it's going against? It looks like an offensive foul on Sajin Gill. That's exactly the case. It'll be his first, the team's third. Physical basketball. The refs have been letting them go at it, haven't they?
Yeah, they're letting them play. See, taking it up the court for the Suns, Emmanuel Jones. Good pressure, real tight defense by Sidhu.
This is Anthony Israel. Can't get that one to fall. Apparently he's a three-point specialist for this Leboldus Suns team, and well, we saw why there, because he was close on that latest shot, but it goes out of bounds. It'll remain Suns ball at the end. Suns in these maroon jerseys with white trim, moving from our left to right as we see them. Marcus Ward spins, can't get the floater in a lane to go, and scooped up by the big man, number 15, Milan Miktrovic. He's 6'5", he shot earlier today in the three-point call. But look, the name you should know right now is Lucas McFadden. He's dialed in from long distance. And now it's a 24-22 lead for the Saints out of Vancouver over Regina's Leboldus Suns. Marcus Ward can't get that one to go. He had a wide open man over here. Emmanuel Jacobs calling for the ball. That goes out of bounds, and there'll be a timeout called by the St. George's Saints with 3:03 left before halftime in a 24-22 lead. Pretty good basketball game, although low scoring today. Defensive struggles, definitely.
It has been. I'll tell you what, I'm looking for the red man to come out here and put on a little show. He's been entertaining as heck today. On the timeout breaks, hitting the court, showing off some dance moves. Looks like he's taking a bit of a rest. The guy in the red suit.
Oh, yeah. Those guys, if you remember the Olympics, they have those full body suits.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the same look-alike. He's been in that all day. I can't imagine how uncomfortable that is.
Or how the suit smells at the end of the day. Ooh.
Form-fitting suit, to say the least. So out of the timeout, it should be Saints ball, if I'm not mistaken. For those of you listening in from Vancouver or wherever you are listening in from tonight, just to kind of give you a scope of what this tournament is all about, the Star Phoenix in Saskatoon, the leading newspaper, front page, BRIT coverage. CTV in Saskatoon is doing their live 6 o'clock news from here. CBC was here last night. You've got all the big media in the city checking out what's going on. It really does capture the attention of everybody in this province, and it's like a pilgrimage to the Bedford Road Gym every year right around this time.
Absolutely.
At the line, shooting 2 for the Saints right now is Sahil Sidhu. Gets the first one to go and is locked in to try and go 2 for 2, and he does. That was easy, wasn't it? We've seen a lot of missed free throws, haven't we, Craig?
Yeah, you know what? I've been a little bit disappointed with the shooting so far in the tournament, especially from around the perimeter. I mean, with the exception of Wilson in the last game for Belfort, I haven't seen a lot of really stellar outside shooting.
There was a foul on a play. They thought maybe they should have counted the basket, but Sahil Sidhu had a steal, took it to the basket, then dropped it for his teammate Lucas McFadden to no avail, but Sidhu is back on the line to shoot 2, where he went 2 for 2 with 2 to go. And he's now 3 for 3, increasing his team's lead to 5 points now with 2:37 left before halftime.
I'll tell you what, good half of basketball so far.
And Sidhu can't get that one to go. We'll see if the Suns can close the gap on this possession. We always talk about those last 2 minutes here at BRIT before half to grab the momentum. They're so pivotal before going into the locker room. We'll see who grabs it here. Will it be Marcus Ward and the Suns? He's got the ball right now. Dishes it out here to number 6, Emmanuel Jones. Jones looking for anything. Out over to Jacobs for 3. Jacobs, Emmanuel Jones to Emmanuel Jacobs. And that's a connection we want to watch for.
Absolutely.
27-25 now. Inside, they're going to call a foul on number 15, Milan Mitrovic. Pardon me, number 15 in maroon. Ocean Adedi. International appeal here today.
Yeah. Tell you what, I think you're doing great with some of these names. I'm having trouble.
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you. After 10 years of doing this at BRIT, I've seen it all in terms of names.
I suppose. I'll tell you what, probably one of my favorites was 2001's Dexter Dorwood, I think. Something like that. It was good. He's out of Ross Shepherd.
I don't remember that one.
Spencer Dorwood. That was the name. I just love it. Spencer Dorwood. Little shout out to Spencer if you're listening. BRIT alumni here. Love the name.
There you go. Yeah, there's some wild ones. Dorwood. All right, 28-25 now, under 2 to play before halftime. This is Jacobs now. He dialed in from long distance a second ago over to Israel. Israel over here to Jacobs. To Jones for 3. Could it be? Oh, no, kidding. It looked good from here.
I thought they were going to connect again.
Yeah. Saints pushing the ball up the court. They're in the paint. That's too easy. Can't get the roll. And scooped up there by Oceanedetti. And this is Ward now. Bringing it up court. Almost lost control. 3 points separate these two teams. A ticket to the semifinal on the line. This is Jones. He was looking for the basket and the foul, but they're going to call a push-off, I believe. And so that's going to go the way of the Saints with a minute 13 before halftime as the gym slowly fills up. The anticipation for that game you talked about, Craig. 2 city teams going at it.
I'll tell you what, but before that game, I think we actually have 2 teams playing their first game of the tournament in Grant Park and Sturgeon Composite High School out of Nemeo. So following this game, 2 unseen teams as well before we get to that talked about matchup between the Centennial Chargers and the Holy Cross Crusaders.
Yeah, and we won't overlook those 2 teams either. We'll have the broadcast. Stay tuned. We're not going to stop. You better believe it. Look out, Emmanuel Jacobs lost that one. He was bringing it up the court and got a little excited and lost control. So now the Saints back on offense. A 3 ball. Oh, it looked good. And James Pitblato thought it was too. But was that Israel?
With a cute little head fake.
Taking it to the homeland. All right, 30 seconds left before halftime in a 1-point basketball game. Looked like the Saints out of Vancouver were going to pull away. Here's a 3 ball. Follow up the shot. And a bit of contact there is coming in for that rebound was Chad Payne. He got a little over exuberant under the basket, and he's charged an offensive foul for his efforts. So it's going to be the Leboldus Suns taking a timeout with 15.9 left before halftime, and they got a chance to shoot for the lead. Do you believe it?
Oh, I can believe anything. I mean, so far today, we opened up today with a bit of a blowout with the Walter Murray Marauders kind of taking it to the host Redmond a little bit. I don't even want to tell you the score. It wasn't very close. But since then, the game's gotten closer and closer and closer. And the game right before this featured the Belfort Redmond taking it to overtime with the Notre Dame Pride. Looks like this one has overtime potential too. I know it's early, a little too early to tell, but
and you gotta love overtime, don't you? I mean, in any sport.
I cheer for overtime.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think a nation was cheering for overtime in a hockey game the other night.
You're bringing that up?
Well,
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
It's only a game, right?
About it? Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Ouch. Monumental claps.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are my brother's friends. They were over at our house the other day.
No, it's some of the World Juniors players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, fantastic.
Carter Ashton and Jared Cowan and those guys.
And how are they taking the loss?
Not well.
No, I don't imagine.
They're at Table Mountain snowboarding today.
Trying to get a little rest and relaxation, take their minds off of it.
Well, their junior teams gave them 5 days off before they go back.
Hey.
So, there you go.
One day for every goal Russia scored in the first, I think. Is that it?
And for the Russians, 1 bottle of wine for every goal they scored.
Yeah, I heard about that on CBC Radio this morning about some trouble at the airport.
Unbelievable. All right, we've got basketball. Sorry, folks.
Back to that.
And at the end of the first half, that one almost went. The Saints feel pretty good about themselves. This is their first appearance at BRIT. They're the heated rival of Vancouver College, who's won it in 08 and 09, so you know they want to come here and leave a stamp on this tournament. The coaches are having a chat before they go talk to the big guys in the locker room and enjoy their 1-point lead. The Leboldus Suns, they're going to relock and reload. here for the second half as well, and we're going to do the same. We'll take a timeout. Devin Haru alongside Craig Schumacher. Send us an email, BritBasketball@gmail.com. We'll be right back after this. won here 2 years ago.
Yeah, we beat them in the final.
You won. Thanks for the information.
Yeah.
Oh,
I bet watching game on TV.
awesome.
So they're watching.
Great, thank you for that. All right. We hope you enjoyed that halftime show. Crowd certainly showing their appreciation. 5 minutes till we kick off the second half here. Score St. George Saints 28, Leboldus Suns 27. We got a cooker here, folks. And I'll tell you what, I even love this Vancouver team. I love their warm-up even. They came out, started the game, looking like, I don't know what they were looking like. We had a choreographed kind of warm-up, intimidating the other team, had the crowd into their warm-up. I've never seen a crowd pay so much attention to a team warming up before. All right, we got a guest appearance. Well, Devin, the man, Haru's taking a break. I'd like to welcome Tyler Byer. How you doing there, Mr. Schumacher? Oh, I'm loving life. What do you think of the game thus far? This is a barn burner to the end. Oh, isn't it? I'm calling double OT. He's calling double, so following all this by 3. Okay, coming from Mr. Byer. He's calling double overtime with the Leboldus win by 3. Let's see how much this guy knows. None. Probably not. Probably, yeah. Well, you know what? The game right before this going to overtime. This one's a 1-point game at halftime. I don't think that's an unrealistic guess. After watching most of the games this tournament, I think these are probably the two best teams I've seen playing. You know what? If they had been on opposite sides of the bracket, I don't think you're wrong. This I think, so far looks like it could be a great final game to this tournament. The Leboldus guys are so skilled and so big and fast, and their guards are shifting from left to right, finding holes. And then you got Vancouver on the other hand, who are all just 6 feet tall, sweet, smooth shots, good rebounders, boxed out. They're very well coached, it looks like. Yeah. And you had mentioned that too. I mean, they're bringing 4 coaches and an athletic trainer. They're taking this seriously. The trainer's so into the game, he can't even sit on a chair. He's on the cooler. He's sitting on the cooler, right? He's got to cool himself down. Well, Mr. Haru, where did he go? Off for a quick Pepsi during halftime? I think he did. Good for him. Good. He's working hard. Yeah, sure. You know what? I couldn't bet on this game. Right now, I'd be afraid to bet even a dime. Well, if I was going to bet last game, one of the kids asked, "Oh, should we do our job?" I said, "Yeah, it'll be done right away." One kid asked, "Is it going to OT?" And I said, "Nah, not a." And there went OT. So you really I don't know much. About the pretty face in the stand. Yeah. Oh dear. I'll tell you what, folks, he's got a face for internet radio, Tyler Byer. That's my goal. Someday make it big on the radio. Preferably radio, so no one really has to look at. Well, I was going to say, you and I can't do TV, that's for sure. Well, thanks for having me. I got to get back to my job. Always a pleasure. Looking forward to having you back. I might make another sneak here. Love that. See you later, everyone. Yeah. That was Mr. Tyler Byer, a former national champion with the Saskatoon Hilltop football team, a Vanier Cup contender. Didn't end up winning one, but played in 2 Vanier Cups as a University of Saskatchewan Husky, a multi-sport athlete, now a teacher at Bedford Road. Given his expertise, always good to have another opinion up here in the booth. All right, just over 30 seconds left on the clock as we count down to the start of the second half. For those of you just tuning in, this game so far has probably been the game of the tournament here, with both teams looking good. The St. George Saints out of Vancouver and the Leboldus Suns out of Regina battling here, and I don't think it's really out of the question to think that whoever wins this game could potentially win the tournament. I know it's a little early to start thinking about tomorrow night already, but you know both of these teams are. They didn't come all this way to play 2 games and leave. Both looking to get their names on the banner that's been hanging up for 43 years and be the 43rd champion of this tournament. Leboldus inbounds to Emmanuel Jones. He's pressured by Sadu. Sun's called on the block. Sadu brings the ball up, passes it up to Mitrovic. Mitrovic drains her. Gives some trouble. St. George coming out with a bit of a press here. Both teams looking pretty intense out of the gate in the second half. Inbounding, Emmanuel Jones looks for the inbound. Oh, just about picked off by Mitrovic. Can't get the roll. Rebound picked up by Mitrovic. Gives it to Sidhu. And Alexiou looks to Chung, but Chung hang on to the pass. It's Leboldus ball. 30-27 St. George. As Emmanuel Jones takes it up the court, being pressured by Sidhu. With the pick. Pushes it off to Israel. Israel outside. All right, and Gill comes up with the ball. Over to Chung. Chung around. Gill drains the 3 to put St. George up by 6 here early on in the second half. And down to Jones. Jones getting pressure here. Marcus Ward manages it. Oh! Drives the length of the court. Can't put it in the end. Adid picks up the rebound, gets fouled. He'll be shooting 2. Foul on the play, number 15, Milan Mitrovic. That's his second of the game. Looks like Sidhu's bringing the troops together. A little strategizing. As Adid hits his first, a 2. Mitrovic pulls up and hits. He's good. So the St. George Saints going on a bit of a run here. Oh, okay. Folk and Sadu got tied up a little bit. Sadu coming out on the losing end. He doesn't like that. Neither does the St. George coach. Into Jones. Jones getting pressure from Sadu. Jones drives. Oh. Israel to Jones. Jones with a razzle-dazzle, can't hit. Mitrovic the rebound. Mitrovic, I've been saying his name a lot here to start off the second half, grabbing a couple of rebounds, pulling up for a couple of jumpers. Looking good. And Sadu has the ball. Goes out to Chung. Chung looks inside to Alexu. And Sadu drains her. It's a 4-point game. St. George up 35-31. Israel looking to take the pressure from Chung. Drives. Can't get the roll. Chung picks up the rebound. Comes the other way to Mitrovic. Mitrovic crosses over. Gets crossed up. Sadu's got it. Out to Chung. Chung looks full for three. Thinks otherwise. And Sejan Gill manages to drain one. Timeout called by Leboldus after St. George goes on a 10-point run here. The Leboldus coach says we got to slow things down here. Feeling the shift in momentum coming in at the start of the second half. Looks to maybe refocus here. The St. George Saints are coached by Guy De Silva, Aaron Greystone, Dwayne Selby, and Stephen Wang. Their manager is Gurkaran Singh. The Leboldus Suns, on the other hand, are coached by Wade Bartlett, Garrett Cott, and Jordan Puskas. And the Leboldus Suns are sitting right now on top of the league in Regina and are ranked top 3 in the province here. They'll look to be contending for a provincial championship in a couple months down the road. Most likely we'll be joined by the likes of other BRIT contestants in the Holy Cross Crusaders, Centennial Chargers, and most likely the Balfour Redmond out of Regina as well. Back to the game. Tyler Folk of the Suns looks to inbound. And St. George with a pretty tough press on here. Mitrovic not backing down. Ward gets it over. Ward's got the ball inside. Turns around, can't hit. Alexu picks up the rebound. Gives it to Chung. Chung carries the ball up the court. Slows things down here. Off to Pitlato. Pitlato to Mitrovic. Can't hit. And Ward's fine just letting that go out. Ward looks to inbound the ball for the Suns. He's going to be looking for Jones here. Finds him. Jones getting double pressured. Ward carries up the ball, crosses it up, looking for something. Elects to drive baseline. Pulls up, looks to Jones, a steal. Pitlato drives. Oh, Jones gets a hand on it, but it's picked up by Sejan Gill. Gill in the corner, he's got it, dishes it off to McFadden. McFadden to Chung. Chung pulls up for the three. Can't go. Oh, and it's out on Vancouver St. George. Alexu, I believe, was the last person to touch it. Down the ball to Emmanuel Jones. Emmanuel Jones looks to Israel. Israel to Ward. Ward out to Folk.
Welcome back, Mr. Devin Aru, after a well-deserved break. I'll tell you what, we had some questions for the fans before the break, and I had a Vancouver parent who made the trip come up to me at break saying she got a text message from the viewers back in Vancouver saying they are a private all-boys school. They beat BRIT champions 2 years ago, the Vancouver College Fighting Irish, to win the provincial championship 2 years ago. The rivalry between Vancouver College and St. George is deep. Her son played on that provincial championship team, and her other son is on this team here today. She made the trip out. She wanted us to know the facts about St. George. They are a private all-boys school. They take their basketball seriously. Yeah. Vancouver College is just down the road. There we go.
Facts from an unbiased source.
Absolutely.
Well, right?
Yeah, mom's not going to be biased.
No, exactly.
No.
Rivalries abound at this tournament. Sorry, I apologize for skipping out on you. I ran into some BRIT alumni, which is obviously pretty common around here.
Apology not accepted.
Okay, perfect. Back to the action. It looks like St. George's is in control here. They've buckled down the hatches and committed to defense, though. Anthony Israel now for Leboldus. Feeds it inside. They turn it over and stripped away by Sergeant Gill. He took that away in a hurry, didn't he? And now he's behind the arc looking for a three-ball.
He hits it. I'll tell you, the first 5.5 minutes of this half have been all Vancouver.
Well, and I think it was just a matter of these guys finally realizing the scope of what they were up against here at the BRIT Classic. It's their first appearance, and they're settling in nicely. So is the crowd here on a beautiful Friday night in Saskatoon. We've expected cool temperatures for BRIT year after year. You mentioned it on the broadcast last night in 2007. We had delays. It was like trains, planes, and automobiles to get everybody into the city to start the tournament. Well, it's absolutely perfect tonight.
Beautiful.
And you couldn't ask for a better.
Snow's melting in the parking lot.
Yeah, it is.
I'll tell you, that 2007 year, too, is minus 45. We got 3 feet of snow. And that was the year we had a team from Australia coming in. So what a welcome to Canada they got. Ended up taking in a train from Edmonton, minus 58 or some ridiculous thing like that. I'll tell you, I bet you they loved BRIT, but I don't imagine they missed the weather when they went home.
No. Sure, the experience is great, but if you can't feel your fingers and toes, well. All right, so timeout on the floor with the score 45-28, a comfortable lead for the St. George's Saints. Maybe we'll whip up that program and take a look at it, figure out when these teams are going to be playing tomorrow, so that all you out there in Lotus Land on the beautiful west coast of Canada can tune in tomorrow. It looks like, what do we have?
It looks like the winner of this game is going to play tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. immediately following the cheer and palm competition, so that'll be a packed house for that game. They play the winner of Sacred Heart Garden City. No, that game has been decided already. The winner of this game will play Sacred Heart in tomorrow's semifinal at 1:30. The unfortunate loser of this game is going to play Walter Murray Collegiate on the B side later on tonight at the last game of the evening at 9:30.
Oh, so there's a chance that if you're listening in for either the Saints or the Suns, that you could be tuning in late in the evening for the nightcap here on the second day of the 43rd BRIT Classic. Of course, we saw Sacred Heart out of Ottawa play a really spirited affair against the Garden City Gophers out of Manitoba. They're going to be tough to beat, and they got a coach, Tony House, who's won it as a player and as a coach, and he has his guys all geared up. That'll be a 1:30 semifinal tomorrow. 2 minutes left here in the third quarter as the Saints go back to work on offense. This is a big man. McFarlane, I believe that is, number 24. That's McFadden, pardon me, Lucas McFadden. Took it to the hoop. An offensive foul called against them.
Indeed, doing a good job drawing the charge.
Yeah, get set, get planted. I mean, there's a lot of things that got to go right for these Suns out of Regina right now. This is a big man, Marcus Ward. I've liked his game here this afternoon. Marcus Ward, 6'4", forward. Anthony Israel now feeds it back to him inside. He posts up to the hoop. He got it.
Hey!
finally. He's been taking a beating, though, for every basket, and that's why the Saints are winning. They make you work. Gill for three, and that hits for him. Anthony Israel on the run. He's bringing it back. He's got a man going to the basket. Didn't see him. That was Tyler Folk. He was streaking in. It's a 15-point lead with just over a minute left before three-quarter time. Emmanuel Jones threw that away, but there's some bad blood going on down there between Gill and number 15, Oceanadetti, and there's some words being exchanged, but they're all right.
Yeah, it looks like Adeti and Sejan Gill here kind of made up, had a chuckle over it, shook hands, we're over it. Sadu didn't seem to like that for Vancouver College. Or pardon me, St. George. Oh, whoops!
You better wash your mouth out.
I'm sorry. I apologize to any St. George fans out there. Oh boy.
Vancouver College.
Oh jeez, what have I done?
Sahil Sidhu is on the line, and he's only missed one free throw in this game. He's now, 4 for 5 from the charity stripe, looking to go 5 for 6, and he gets a roll.
He does.
And increases his team's lead comfortably to, I believe it should be 47-30. Is that the right score? Yes. Looks like we're going to have some subs now for the St. George's Saints. The all-boys private school out of Vancouver. We know that for sure. Played in the Burnaby Classic Tournament, lost by 14 to number 1 Burnaby South in the semifinals. They also played in the Oregon Classic in the States, finished with a record of 1-2 down here.
Wow.
And I'll let you know that this is a young team that considers defense, aggression, and focus as the keys to victory. I've done my scouting report on this team.
So far they're doing just that.
Yeah.
And great team defense, especially here in the second half. Reducing Leboldus to 3 points up until this point in the third quarter.
Yeah, and they're the BC Provincial Champions in 09. We talked about that. You've also got to realize they've only got one grade 12 on the roster. And they are really lighting it up now as Declan Chung.
Looking outside to Alexa.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Marcus Ward over here. Emmanuel Jones from way back. Can't get that one to go. And now the Saints look to put salt in the wound right now on this drive to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Back and forth we go. Emmanuel Jones, explosive take to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Shot clock off. Only 14 left here in the third quarter. The Saints in a comfortable lead right now. Gill, there's only 5 left on the clock. They better get a shot away. 3 seconds left. The 3 ball at the end of 3. It's going to be 49-30. What a quarter from the team from Vancouver.
Woo. St. George scoring 20 in the third quarter. Leboldus only 3. Now we were talking before the break. Overtime is a possibility.
Yeah, right.
Oh. Anything can happen at BRIT, I guess it just goes to show.
Well, and I mean, like we say, it's only 8-minute quarters. Doesn't seem like a lot of time, but you can rack up a lot of points.
And they have. It makes you wonder what Coach De Silva kind of said to his guys at half. I know they came out playing a pretty good press, and that seemed to have the Leboldus back on their heels. You gotta wonder what he said. So when they come out there with 13 unanswered points at the start of the third, that's gonna have any team reeling.
All right. So the St. George's Saints, comfortable leaders here. The Leboldus Suns, well, they might have to play tonight. It's looking like it, and that's a hard drop.
That is a tough schedule. To end this game, you know, you're looking at really this game kind of ending about 6:30, 6:45. So to be back here at 9:30 playing another game, that is a tough draw. The winner, on the other hand, gets a good sleep in tonight. Back here at 1:30 in the afternoon tomorrow in the semifinal against Sacred Heart.
Oh, baby, is that ever going to be a battle of the Titans? And I can't wait. Working it around the perimeter. The Saints just want to steer this ship home to victory here on a Friday night. They are rebounding. They are pulling in everything right now.
And pulling in lots of different players here in the fourth quarter. We're seeing the Saints go to their bench. 4 players hitting the court for the first time in the game.
Well, and you know, the fact that we mentioned that there's only one grade 12 on the roster has got to bode well for this team moving forward when you have a chance to give your players some key time in a game like this in big pressure situation. You know, this is why teams win championships, because you rotate the young guys and get that experience.
Absolutely. And I mean, I know it's early to start talking about this, but with a team stacked for the grade 11s who are looking this good, I almost want to see these guys again next year, just to watch them develop.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny how it works, where if these guys end up winning this championship, there's a good chance they will be back, and then, man, look out, right? This whole BC juggernaut might just keep rolling through the city when it comes to this weekend in Saskatoon.
As you mentioned earlier, the last 6 BRITs won by BC teams. What's in the water out there, Devin? Is it the water? Is it the trees?
It's the yoga.
It's the yoga. It's that sweet and easy West Coast lifestyle.
No big deal.
Well, it's the fact that it never snows. Even during the Olympics.
No kidding. All right. Yeah, I guess it's a year ago now that we were gearing up for the world to look at the West Coast. The Saints in control over a minute into the fourth quarter. They have a 51-30 lead. They're on the perimeter right now. This is Joe DeSeaman, pardon me. This is Declan Chung. And called on a travel was Bashir Khan. Make sure we get all these names in for anybody listening. You know that? I always like in a broadcast to make sure we get all those names in. It's easy to key on a few key guys. Maybe even when we get a timeout, we can update you on who's out there for both sides. For the Leboldus Suns, it's Tyler Folk, who would go to the line to shoot 2. They look like a frustrated bunch right now, don't they?
They do. They just haven't found an answer here in the second half. Looks like a completely different team.
Yeah. Tyler Folk dials in 2 for 2. Bringing it up here for the Saints. Bashir Khan gets it over to Chung. Chung still looking for anything. Bounces off the foot and out of bounds. Look out. That was Chad Payne for the Saints. And he was the Saints for the Saints, number 24. He was faithful, number 12. And bringing it up here is Marcus Ward for the Suns. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. In a 19-point St. George's Saints lead. This is Jones. Over to Clank. Clank was looking for Folk inside, and that's a turnover. Don't want to sound like it's a recording. No look pass inside to number 22, Zafir Lada.
And despite being up by 19 points, the Vancouver College coach, he's on his feet the whole time. He's yelling at players. He doesn't want them to back down. Play hard for the whole way through. Well, that mentality.
Yeah, we heard their motto: defense, aggression, focus. I mean, even, this is when injuries can happen too.
True.
McFadden hits a long jumper to increase the lead to 21. Anthony Israel for the Suns couldn't get that one to go. People are hitting the deck underneath the basket. Looks like there's a foul and a bit of pushing going on.
That's getting a little chippy out here.
Yeah, look at this. Tyler Folk and Cornell Alexu are getting into it. Pay attention to that.
Interesting. And Alexu's still having some words with the referee here.
Well, I mean, look at right now.
And Folk as well.
Folk is going to be subbed off right now, it looks like. He's rubbing his eye or his nose. He got all jammed up. It looks like he may have to go get cleaned up if there's some blood. And I think that's the case, maybe.
Perhaps. Folk headed to the locker room.
Marcus Ward, a spin of fire. He made that look good. Send us an email, britbasketball@gmail.com. Would love to know where you're listening in from tonight. McFadden for the Saints. Can't get that to go. Rebounded, bouncing around like a pinball and kept in. What a great job there. And McFadden now has it for the Saints. The big man, number 12 inside, Cornell Alexiou. Gets a basket. Basket and the foul.
And one.
And how's that? He says, take that, and glances over to the Leboldus Sun bench.
Oh, his looks could talk.
Yeah, I think we know what it said. 3-point play, 56-34, under 5 to play here in the fourth quarter. 1:30 tomorrow afternoon, the St. George's Saints semifinal Saturday. The Leboldus Suns, barring a miracle, will be playing tonight, the nightcapper at 9:30. It's going to be tough for them to refocus, but they're going to have to. Quick ball movement, and you wouldn't even know that these guys have lost a step. Travel on that play. Zapir Radha being called on the travel, but I mean, this ball movement is impressive, isn't it? You're not even allowing the defense of the Suns to set up before you're penetrating.
Right, exactly. And into the game for St. George is number 5, Braden Smith, and number 7, Jovan Zagish.
Coaches on the sidelines for the Saints still talking over what they want to be doing there, right into it. I've always liked a coach where when you look at them, you would never know the score in a game. I think that says a lot about a coach.
Absolutely. Coach the same way, well, whether we're up 30 or down 30, we're going to play our game.
Braden Smith, he was on the three-point line, but he put that one in. They're going to call it a long two.
A long two. Coming in cold and hitting the long two. Coaches are curious what's going on.
Subs, a little bit of confusion right now. I don't know if they want a timeout. I don't know.
The refs are talking.
Craig, I'm hoping that after the game, perhaps, you can maybe grab one of the players from the Saints. We've been trying to do some interviews with the players.
I'd love to.
Yep. If you want to head down there, and then we can have a chat with them, get them on the mic.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Is there
anyone in particular?
Well, I was just going to say now's probably a good time to have that chat. Is there a player that's stuck out in your mind from the Saints here tonight?
Well, I mean, when you were gone, I had my eye on Milan Mitrovic, number 15. He came out looking stellar here at the start of the third. That's just my pick. You know what I mean?
There's Emmanuel Jones for 3. Yeah, well, we saw Milan Mitrovic earlier today in the three-point competition, and I think that carried over into today's game. So that might be a good story. Perhaps we can bring Milan up here. So if your parents, friends, family, whatever, of Milan Mitrovic, we'll have a chat with him about his team's effort here tonight as they get their first win while they've got 3 minutes left and a 58-37 lead.
I'll tell you, another guy I wouldn't mind having a chat with is number 4, Sahil Sadhu. He's playing with some intensity. He's getting fired up, getting crossed up with another young man from Leboldus earlier on in the quarter.
Yeah. Well, and then I'll bring up the name Sajjan Gill, who I thought early in the game when it was tight really asserted himself physically under the basket, hauling in a lot of rebounds. So, I mean, we've got a lot of players. There's a 2 again. I'll tell you what, Braden Smith, the poor guy has no luck because every time he's hitting these, what I think are threes, he's standing on the line. They're giving him 2. To the basket. Leboldus can't get that one to go, and we're under 3 to play and a 60-37 lead Bedford Road and Saskatoon community. The St. George's Saints are here officially.
Zafir Lara with a nice tip in following Chad Payne's miss. Both of those players stepping into the game earlier on in the quarter.
Marcus Ward for the Suns. Looking for anything. Well defended. This is Clank.
And the fact that St. George continues to blow this game open, I think that speaks to the depth of their bench.
And a 24-second shot clock violation against the Suns, and they look to the heavens and go, are these guys going to give us a break?
What happened?
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking tired. They're looking frustrated.
2 minutes left here before we put this one to bed. I think it's time to bring out the salami and cheese. A back and over call against the Suns. It was Brady Urich who had it right on that center line stripe. I don't know. I also like hearing from the coaches sometimes. It'd be neat to get one of the coaches up here.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe see if one of the coaches want to come up, because I know the players for the first couple of minutes like to go to the dressing room. Maybe we can talk to a coach and grab a player.
I'll tell you what, Dev, I'm gonna de-headset and make my way on down.
Good man.
Good luck with the rest of the game.
All right. Thank you, sir. Craig Schumacher doing an admirable job. One of the staff members here at BRIT. We've got a minute and a half left in this basketball game. Suns working it around, still not quitting on this one. 5 left on the shot clock, though. Here's a turnover. Oh, look out here. There's going to be a foul called on the Saints. Bashir Khan. Yeah, he patted himself on the chest. He knew that that was his foul. And so that'll put the Leboldus Suns into the bonus, and it's Tyler Clank on the line, hits glass and banks that one in, gets it to go. Clank can't get that second one to go. 1 for 2 from the line. Foul called, offensive foul on the Leboldus Suns. We're approaching 1 minute left in this basketball game. Bashir Khan can't dial that one in from long distance. Coaches probably won't like that. Use the shot clock. We've got a out of bounds called on Tyler Clank at the end line. Timeout called by the St. George's Saints, of course. Head coach Guy De Silva, Aaron Greystone, Dwayne Selby, and Stephen Wong are all here. And they are all huddled around their team right now. Of course, this is Devin Haru. I was alongside Craig Schumacher for this game, calling all the action here at the 43rd BRIT Classic. I was around here, got my start at the 33rd BRIT Classic, a student of Bedford Road, and we all come back here to volunteer our time to make sure that this thing goes smoothly. Bedford Road at the time I got here had about 1,100 people. Now it's down to about 500 students, but yet the tournament lives on, and it's thanks to teachers, staff, former staff, alumni, and basketball enthusiasts in this city that make the tournament what it is. Minute 04 left in this basketball game. The St. George's Saints out of Vancouver, British Columbia lead at 62-38 over Regina. Just down the highway. Here's a steal right in, easy lay-in for the Saints. 64-38. Now we're under a minute to play. Foul called. And I see Craig Schumacher over there on the Saints sidelines. He's trying to arrange some post-game interviews for us. that's going to be the case. We'll have a post-game chat with some of the players and the coaches. It looks like my good friend and broadcast partner, Tyler Byers, in the booth.
Back again. I already came for a stint when you went to the bathroom.
Oh,
there you go.
Pepsi. Got a Pepsi.
I had a bold prediction, Cotton, and it didn't pay off.
No? What was your bold prediction?
Double overtime.
Oh.
That's why I never played basketball.
Stick to football.
They don't allow 5'2" guys to play.
Yeah. And of course, we should probably let our listeners out in Vancouver know that you and I did the broadcast of the Canadian Junior Football Championship against the Vancouver Island Raiders and the Saskatoon Hilltops, a game the Saskatoon Hilltops won, and that was a good day to do a broadcast if you were a fan of Saskatoon.
The trainer.
The trainer's name is Nick.
Tell me that again. We're getting texts. Has it happened? Figs. Okay.
The trainer's name is Figs. His nickname is Figs.
All right. Well, Fix is over there, and he hasn't had to work too hard in this one. 22 seconds left in this game. The St. George's Saints out of Vancouver starting this tournament in fine fashion against the Leboldus Suns. Of course, we told you off the top, they have the weight of their shoulder, or the weight of the world on their shoulders, because it's been six consecutive BRIT championships for BC teams, and while they're trying to make it 7 for the West Coast teams here at the championship. The final score for the St. George's Saints, 64 for the Leboldus Suns, 38. Tyler, this one got away from him.
Well, you know what? What it came down to is Vancouver ran an offense and Regina didn't. And Vancouver's very disciplined in how they played, and very poised, and it's like they've been here a million times.
Yeah.
It just seemed maybe the maturity of the team, the coaching, that was the difference today, I think.
Yeah, when you put all those things together, well, you get a lopsided win. And like we said, their team mantra is defense, aggression, and focus. And they did all that here tonight. And if they continue to do that, they'll find themselves playing at the 6 o'clock final tomorrow night.
They were relentless on defense, and they pushed the ball, they shot, they hit their shots. It just seemed like a very well-oiled Vancouver basketball team.
Spoken like a true color commentator. Hey, Bayer, I've got Schumacher down there finding first game, finding a couple of players. I don't know, maybe you want to help them out and get them up here. Because we'd love to chat with a couple of guys on that team.
I don't know who he's trying to pull there. It looks like the man who was in a three-point competition today.
Mitrovic. So he'll take over your headset.
You bet.
And I thank you, sir. And I was hoping that maybe we could talk with one of the coaches. Yeah, I mean, okay, Schumacher's talking to one of the coaches, but it can be whoever. So it's a convincing win for the St. George's Saints, and we've got the big man, Milan Mitrovic, up in the booth. Milan, obviously a big win for your team. We saw you earlier today in the three-point competition. So far, so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're feeling good? Tell me, this is a big win for your team. It wasn't easy in the beginning. Were you guys nervous? What was going on?
Well, you know, it's tough coming out to a new city. We have to find our groove, right? But we pulled through in the end. It's all that matters.
Yeah, you know, I've got to tell you, I understand you've got some big rivals in Vancouver College.
Yeah.
Those guys won this championship back-to-back. You beat them in 09 to win the provincial title.
Yeah.
Tell me, did you talk with any of those guys before you came? Did you know what BRIT was all about?
Well, our coaches were telling us that BC came by, and they're saying it was a great experience, right? To watch the competition here, great fun as well.
Yeah, and you know, I've got to tell you, you probably don't know this, but BC teams have won this championship 6 consecutive years. Do you feel any pressure to win it this year?
We just out there again, and we'll see how it goes through.
Yeah, you play in the semifinal tomorrow, 1:30 against Sacred Heart out of Ottawa. I don't know if you got a chance to see them earlier today, but they are a well-oiled machine. What are you looking at doing from here until that game?
well, we just got to get prepared, you know, play our game. If we play our game, we're going to win.
Simple as that, and you heard it here first. Milan, thanks for doing this. Congratulations on a good game today.
Thank you.
All right, and I think we have one of your coaches coming up here. I don't know if maybe you head down there. If one of those guys want to come up here, we can have a chat with them. All right. That's Milan Mitrovic of the St. George's Saints. Obviously excited about the win, excited to be here, and why not? And I'm going to hope that we can get to one of these coaches. Of course, like we said, what was the final again? It was like 68-30 something. I mean, it was a convincing win. They clear the scoreboard right away here and get ready for the next game. But we'll just stay on the air with you. We'll be doing the broadcast to the next game. It's the first time we're going to see two teams in this tournament. They're playing in this 6:30 game. Grant Park and Sturgeon Composite. So that'll be a beauty. That's another ticket to the semifinal. They'll play in the 3 p.m. semifinal. As the crowd slowly starts to mount for obviously a largely anticipated game at 8 o'clock between the Centennial Chargers and the Holy Cross Crusaders. Again, thanks for listening in wherever you are across this country, and of course I know we have international listeners. We'd love to hear from you at britbasketball@gmail.com. What else can we tell you about the St. George's Saints team? They lost this season in the quarterfinals of the HSBC Classic to the number 2 ranked Palmer, a tournament that features all top BC teams. And I like going back to this stat, the fact that they only have one grade 12 on their roster. Obviously, that makes it pretty interesting considering this team is going to be moving forward. Seems to me like we have some fans in the crowd of the St. George's Saints team. I'll catch up with them, maybe send her a text, tell her to come up at the booth, and maybe we can talk to her too. I'd love to hear the perspective of a parent who's never been to the BRIT Classic. Drew, I don't know if there's a chance, but maybe if you could go ask Craig if he has a coach coming so that anybody listening in from Vancouver can stay with us and see. I know Craig's right over there. I asked him to grab a coach, maybe see where we're at with that. In the gray right beside the light. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. So we'll stay on for at least a few more minutes and see if we're grabbing one of the coaches. I know Guy De Silva would be an interesting man to talk to. It's unanimous that the St. George's Saints team is the best dressed team here. Everybody's been talking about it. They have the uniforms that they wear to their school. And it seems like they're slowly becoming the hometown favorite of this Bedford Road school. That's what happens here. It's interesting to watch how the people of Bedford Road will take to one of the out-of-town teams, because we all know that it's difficult sometimes for Bedford Road. They haven't won the championship from, well, since the first year this tournament started, back in 1968. They won the first, they haven't won it since, and maybe that speaks to the competition that we invite year after year. So we've got our tech guy, Drew, over there, finding out whether or not one of the coaches is going to come over here. And we're just going to stay on the air. Maybe I'll, well, it looks like it. Looks like we'll have one of the coaches in a few minutes. So we'll take a timeout right now. Stay with us. You can watch the warm-up of Sturgeon Composite in Grant Park, and then we'll load up a post-game interview from this latest St. George's Saints win right after this. right back here at the BRIT Classic. A convincing win for the St. George's Saints out of Vancouver, British Columbia to the tune of 64-38. I see head coach Guy De Silva making his way up to the booth here. We'll get his headset on, and then we'll have a chat about a convincing victory for the St. George's Saints here. Their first appearance at the BRIT Classic, but Coach, I understand that your rivals from the West Coast, the Vancouver College team, has probably told you a lot about this tournament.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I wanted to come out. I coached a lot of the Vancouver College players in Community League, and we worked together in summer camps, and all of them to a man said the best basketball experience they've had is at the BRIT. So 2 years ago, I sent Brad an email, and this year we got an invite, so we're really excited to be here.
You know, Coach, early on in the game, it looked like maybe some of the excitement of the tournament got to you guys because you were struggling offensively, couldn't find a rhythm. What was it? What was the turning point? It seemed like maybe it was just halftime. You settled down.
I think we settled down. You know, we were missing a lot of buddies in the first half, shots that we usually make. Nerves, we're also trying to get the rest out. This is we played an exhibition game last night, and we haven't played for quite a long time. And I think once we got a couple transition looks, it really opened up the floor, and then we got some open threes, and it seemed we got that rhythm. But I think we're just getting out of the transition and getting a couple of easy buckets early really helped us get that flow.
You've only got one grade 12 on your team. Obviously, that's got to bode well for the future, but maybe talk about how important it is to play this caliber of basketball moving forward.
Well, I think, we're coming out here, and when we go back home, we play 6 of the top 10 teams in the province. We always try to put the best caliber on our schedule, and one of the reasons I wanted to come to the BRIT is so our guys get to play in front of a big crowd with the camera, the light, and get that experience under their belt. Because, you know, with a really young team, sometimes they can get a little flustered, and the more experience they get, I think it'll serve us well down the stretch.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, it's been 6 consecutive championships by BC teams. The weight of the world is on your shoulders. Now what do you do to prepare for that 130 semifinal tomorrow?
Well, we're hoping to get some tape and take their heart. We saw them play a little early. They shoot the ball really well. We got one big guy, you know. I think defensively we can play with anybody on the defensive end, and offensively it's a matter of executing. We want to make sure that we come with a good game plan for Sacred Heart, because I watched them today. They really smoked it. Number 2, 20 points, 23 and 3-point competition speaks for itself. And the big guy for a 6'8" guy really suits him well in transition and handles the ball. So I think for our guys, it's just a matter of, you know, knowing the matchups, taking away the shots, making it work to get shots without giving up any open threes. I think if you do that, offense will take care of itself.
Well, I know your team mantra is defense, aggression, and focus. You played like that tonight. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having us up.
Hey, just keep it going.
Okay.
All right. That's the head coach of the St. George's Saints, Guy De Silva. Obviously a happy man with that win, and he'll go and celebrate with his team now. And we're going to buckle in and buckle up right after this.